All right, time to delve into the world of social media to see what's happening and how people are reacting to it. And Mercy Emmanuel is right here to guide us through. Hello, Mercy.
Hello, Mobalani.
Good morning.
Good morning, Samson.
Well done.
So because of our time, we'll just take one story.
All right.
Okay.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, on Monday took his campaign to London. Tinubu, at his Chatham House engagement in London, refused to answer critical questions on how he intends to govern Nigeria if elected in 2023. Rather than answering questions bordering on economy, health, Nigeria's multidimensional security challenges assigned to them, he assigned them to his surrogate. He assigned the questions on oil theft to one of his campaign spokesperson, Dele Alake, the question on security assigned to Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and the question on youth development and inclusion to Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State, among others, like different sectors. He just assigned it to different, even Bajabi Amila was one of his surrogates. The APC presidential candidate excused his failure to answer questions as a demonstration of his philosophies and doctrine that he believes in
Teamship.
I can't even pronounce it. Teamship. So, we know he's not the only one on the presidential race. We have the likes of Atiku, the likes of Kwankwaso, Obi, and there's been different town hall gatherings, town hall meetings, which Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not attended. But the thing is, when you see all his contenders, when you see them, when they ask them questions on economy, security, what do you intend to do? They answer it themselves. I'm not saying I believe in teamship. I believe in teamship. Yeah. I know he can't do it all. Yes, maybe he's not an expert. He's not an economist. He's not a security expert. He can't propose a solution to all these sectors and all the challenges the country is facing at the moment. But again, as our perspective,
as the arrowhead,
yes, you want to become a leader, you want to lead the country. What do you intend to do? What are your plans? I want to believe he will have meeting with all these historians. Like, okay, well, how do you think we can do this better? So when it comes to gathering like this Chatham House, he will be able to tell the world, this is what I intend to do for Nigerians. This is how I intend to transform Nigerians. But
well said. You know, the fact that you are the arrowhead, you are the one that people are looking up to. We are not voting in Bajabi Amila, and neither are we voting in the other. Let me say surrogates. Let me just say delegates. I know it's correct, but it just comes to me in the fertility world. But looking at all of this is why a lot of people have been raising questions that is this man fit? Is he capable of leading a country of over 200 million people? We're not saying there's nothing wrong with you wanting to delegate and bringing other people on board. It's already giving us the confidence that when you get into office, you won't take time to set up your cabinet like President Muhammad Buhari did. But on the other hand, we want to see that confidence. Look at the town hall meeting that was held by a TV station recently. We saw the candidates talking confidently. They are not economists. They are not scientists, but they had the figures, they had the facts, and they could defend some of the things that they intend to do when they get into office. So when you say, oh, we're waiting for, so are you saying that if, for instance, things change and maybe that person you intended to bring into office doesn't eventually come into office, or life just happens to the person, are you saying you wouldn't be able to carry on with your duties, or are you saying you wouldn't be able to pass it on to the next person?
Okay, so at times I would like to ask you, do you think Asiwaju Tinubu understands this the task ahead of him?
I think it does. When you look at the fact that he's been, within the system for over 20 years, either as a governor or a leader of the party, national leader and all, he's been around, the seat of power.
So why is it difficult for him to answer basic questions?
Now that's where, you bring in the issue of his cognitive abilities and all of that into question, which several people have, raised issues or concerns about in recent times. He's coming from the angle of teamship, that he knows how to work with a team. Let's see how it is. I'm sure Nigerians are taking note of all of these things, and by February 25th, they will decide when they go to the polls.
So we'll just take a few comments. Then at Negisi says, you go for a job interview with your boys to answer questions for you. Please go and take your medication. So I won't complete it. I'll just go to the next one. At Usman Abdul Salam says, it's just like an acclaimed surgeon asking his wife to hold cut the vein. why he focuses on the kidney, and his security can focus on the heart. Then at Obiora says, in that aspect, let's vote the team. Since from your assertion, Tinubu has little or nothing much to do, so that we know we have presidents, not president. No love for country. This one is saying, since you believe in teamship, let's just vote for the team. Let's be, at the end of the day, let's have presidents. Who have presidents, but like
if it was just even him and his vice, it's still understandable. But bringing in,
we have President Nasir Rufai on all else
it's
sector.
teamship again. You should understand that's the premise, really.
But there is need for that teamship, team player.
Well, definitely. Jokes apart, you know, it will definitely work with the team in terms of ministers, even the other arms of government. It will definitely have to work with them. I think that you know, interview has its pros and cons. On one hand, he is trying to portray, you know, project the image of me being a team leader. I can work with the team and all of that. On the flip side, it's definitely not showing that you're in charge in terms of answering salient questions.
But Nigerians want to hear from him.
Well, they've been hearing. They've been hearing from different. All
right, it's time to go home, and we would be doing that by taking the quote of the day, and that is by Mandy Hill. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens.
Well, not in 2023.
Wow.
As in the breathing.
That's why the sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Not all the time.
I think we've tried that over time, where we just say, okay, let's just see how it works, and it doesn't work.
Okay, in terms of election.
Yes, in terms of election, 2023 is
decisive. Samson is always dovetailing everything.
2023 is decisive for us as Nigerians.
So we need to plan.
We need to plan. We need to be decisive about.
But I guess the context of this is that life happens. Sometimes, you know, the life coach was talking about the fact that sometimes things don't go the way you plan. So you just have to breathe. Let's see how things go. Sometimes you're not in control of some things. Like the flooding that happened, the inflation rate, the fuel scarcity. You're not in charge, in control of some of those things. So you just breathe.
Okay.
All right, so we're leaving you to breathe for the rest of the day. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. My name is Omobolanle Adeshi. Have a fine day.
And I'm Mercy Man. Have a fantastic day.
Do have a great day. I'm Samson Olede.